Hey, binge watchers! HBO Max continues to set the standard for prestige television, and we have selected 20 must-watch series that transform the viewing experience. This lineup blends new releases, returning favorites, and underrated gems across every genre. From mind-bending sci-fi and dark fantasy to gritty crime sagas, superhero spectacles, and intense action dramas, every selection delivers non-stop thrills. If you love high-stakes storytelling and unforgettable characters, these shows will keep you truly hooked from the first episode. DUNE Prophecy, 2024.
If I lose control of Arrakis, the great houses would feed me to the worm.
Set 10,000 years before Paul Atreides, two ambitious Harkonnen sisters rise in a universe defined by conflict and prophecy. As empires struggle for control and the secrets of spice and survival unfold, they confront forces that threaten humanity's future. Their journey lays the foundation for a mysterious sisterhood, the Bene Gesserit, women trained in mind and body to influence destiny itself. DUNE Prophecy is an epic story of intrigue, sacrifice, and the origins of an order that reshapes the fate of worlds. Task 2025.
Where's the money?
You're the ones that's been causing all the problems, huh?
I'm gonna take their money so we can have a better life.
In the working-class suburbs of Philadelphia, an FBI agent heads a task force aimed at stopping a series of violent robberies carried out by an unsuspecting family man. Agent Tom Brandis brings together a team that follows leads through neighborhoods filled with betrayal and concealed loyalties. As the investigation exposes the hidden realities of ordinary lives, the distinction between pursuer and target begins to dissolve. Families break apart, long-buried secrets come to light, and ethical compromises accumulate. In a city defined by grit and quiet hardship, justice turns into a risky personal pursuit that strains every relationship and challenges lingering hope. His Dark Materials, 2019-22.
Tell me who this war is really against, and what you want from us.
In a world where every human is linked to a physical animal companion known as a demon, Lyra Balakwa discovers a disturbing scheme involving the disappearance of children. Her pursuit of truth takes her from icy northern landscapes to parallel universes and toward a destiny larger than she understands. Armed with courage and guided by the alethiometer, she joins forces with Will Perry, whose fate becomes intertwined with hers. Together they resist the authoritarian magisterium and confront the enigmatic substance known as dust. The series unfolds as an expansive journey of rebellion, discovery, and the struggle for freedom. Duster, 2025.
How do you feel about violence? I'd be lying if I said the work I do doesn't go upside down sometimes.
In the 1970s American Southwest, a daring getaway driver named Jim Ellis works for a growing criminal syndicate, speeding along dusty highways in his Plymouth Duster. His risky existence changes when he meets Nina Hayes, the first black female FBI agent, who enlists him in an audacious plan to take down the syndicate from the inside. As loyalties become uncertain and each pursuit turns more lethal, Jim is forced to decide between self-preservation and redemption. Duster is a gritty crime thriller about speed, betrayal, and the pursuit of justice. Paradise, 2025.
You were the last person to see Cal alive. Did you kill him?
No.
Within a seemingly tranquil community tied to the powerful, Secret Service agent Xavier Collins investigates the shocking assassination of a former president. As he looks beyond the polished exteriors and polite facades, he uncovers covert alliances, systemic corruption, and dangerous deceptions that reach national proportions. Behind closed doors, neighbors protect hidden truths, and each answer leads to deeper uncertainty. Racing against time, Xavier must manage betrayal, media pressure, and moral dilemmas in order to expose the conspiracy. Paradise becomes a tense exploration of power, loyalty, and the price of uncovering truth. Industry, 2020.
I'm building a democratic financial institution. Standards a bank killer. And I need a partner.
Recent graduates from across the globe enter the intense world of London investment banking at Pierpoint and Company. Among them is Harper Stern, driven and ambitious, determined to prove her worth amid fierce competition, power struggles, and ethical compromises. Friendships turn into rivalries, mentors become threats, and every deal carries consequences beyond financial gain. As ambition clashes with vulnerability, these young bankers learn the real price of survival. The Leftovers, 2014-17.
So this is the last time we're ever gonna see each other, huh?
What do you mean?
Just the world is ending.
Oh, yeah.
On an otherwise ordinary day, 2% of the world's population disappears without explanation, leaving global devastation in its wake. In Mapleton, Police Chief Kevin Garvey attempts to maintain order in a town overwhelmed by grief, cult activity, and social breakdown. Meanwhile, Nora Durst, who lost her entire family in the event, searches for meaning in the aftermath of silence. As their lives intersect, themes of love, guilt, and mystery shape a fragile sense of hope. The Leftovers is an emotionally intense exploration of loss, belief, and the human need for healing. Superman and Lois, 2021-24.
Lois is missing.
How could you just leave her?
Lives were at stake.
My daughter's life is at stake.
After years of protecting the world, Clark Kent and Lois Lane return to Smallville to raise their teenage sons. However, balancing family life with Superman's responsibilities proves more difficult than any battle he has faced. Secrets within the Kent family collide with emerging threats, including powerful villains and government conspiracies. As their sons uncover their father's legacy, love and loyalty are put to the test. The series is a heartfelt superhero drama where courage, family, and hope endure under the weight of destiny. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, 2026.
Sir, I could squire for you, and you could teach me. Every knight needs a squire.
A wandering hedge knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his quick-witted squire Egg travel across Westeros during the reign of the Targaryens. Seeking honor, coin, and small kindnesses, they move through tournaments, feasts, and sudden violence. Along the road, their bond grows into deep loyalty as danger and destiny test them through humor, combat, and quiet bravery. Their humble journey carries far-reaching consequences, showing how even ordinary knights can influence kingdoms and become part of enduring legend. Station 11, 2021.
Can I have your attention, please? We have shelter. We have food. This is the best thing that could have possibly happened.
Following a deadly flu pandemic that wipes out most of humanity, survivors hold on to remnants of the old world. A traveling symphony moves through ruined cities, preserving art and hope. Their journeys connect with a mysterious graphic novel, Station 11, which shapes lives across different timelines. From devastation and loss emerges resilience, as strangers form bonds and stories become a means of survival. The series is a haunting yet poetic exploration of memory, art, and the fragile connections that hold humanity together. EUPHORIA, 2019.
The problem is, if you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
Teenager Rue Bennett returns from rehab still struggling with addiction while searching for meaning in her life. Around her, classmates navigate identity, love, trauma, and hidden struggles in a world shaped by social media and fragile trust. Friendships form and fracture, betrayals cut deeply, and every celebration hides emotional pain beneath the surface. Rue's connection with newcomer Jules Vaughn offers a sense of hope, though chaos continues to follow them both. EUPHORIA unfolds as a raw and emotional exploration of adolescence, where beauty and heartbreak intertwine and survival depends on confronting painful truths step by step. The Penguin, 2024.
Trust me, it's just the beginning.
I got ambition. I can help you.
In the aftermath of Gotham's upheaval, Oswald Cobblepot, known as the Penguin, rises from nightclub figure to crime lord, determined to dominate the city's underworld. Haunted by past wounds and surrounded by rival gangs, he builds ruthless alliances and betrays former allies to secure power. As his influence grows, so do the dangers, losses, and fractures in loyalty. Violence spreads through dimly lit rooms and rain-soaked streets as Oswald learns that ruling Gotham demands sacrifice, calculation, and embracing the very monstrosity he fears becoming. True Detective, 2014.
You think I want to work with you? Take a look in the mirror. No one can stand you.
In 1995, two Louisiana detectives, Rust Cole and Marty Hart, investigate a ritualistic murder case that leaves a lasting mark on their lives. When the case is reopened in 2012, they are forced to revisit years of violence, deception, and emotional damage. Through interviews and investigation, long-buried truths surface as their partnership unravels under the weight of obsession and guilt. Moving through swamps, occult symbols, and confessional revelations, they confront both personal demons and a deeper darkness that may extend beyond a single killer. True Detective becomes a slow, atmospheric story about memory, fate, and moral decay. Watchmen, 2019.
People who wear masks are driven by trauma. They're obsessed with justice because of some injustice they suffered.
In an alternate version of 2019, masked vigilantes are outlawed, and Tulsa carries the unresolved weight of a violent racial history. Detective Angela Abar, a composed yet determined officer, investigates a brutal attack that expands into a far-reaching conspiracy. As buried secrets of identity, power, and historical wrongdoing emerge, The boundaries between hero and villain blur. Masks conceal pain as much as intent, and loyalties begin to fracture under pressure. With each revelation, Angela must decide between justice and survival in a story about memory, vengeance, and confronting the past. House of the Dragon, 2022.
There is more than one way to fight a war.
At the peak of Targaryen power, the dynasty begins to fracture as rival heirs and claimants fight for the Iron Throne. Princess Rhaenyra and Prince Daemon stand at the center of ambition, love, and betrayal, while noble houses and dragons intensify the brewing conflict. As alliances shift and blood ties are tested, families are forced to choose between honor and survival. Fire and political ambition consume both rulers and kin as civil war looms, with the fate of the realm resting on dragonfire and fragile loyalties that stretch across generations. IT, welcome to DERRY, 2025.
Something bad's coming.
What is that?
In 1962, a family relocates to DERRY, Maine, just as a young boy disappears and the town's dark undercurrent begins to surface. A group of local children confront bullying, secrecy, and an ancient shape-shifting entity that feeds on fear, Pennywise. Bound together by friendship and courage, they face the growing horror that has long haunted their town. Beneath decades of silence lie buried sins and forgotten trauma. Together, the children learn that bravery, unity, and confronting fear are the only ways to resist the nightmare that repeatedly returns to DERRY. The Last of Us, 2023.
By the time the sun comes up tomorrow, there's a very good chance you'll be dead. You're gonna lose.
After a fungal pandemic destroys civilization, hardened smuggler Joel Miller is tasked with escorting teenager Ellie across a ruined United States. Ellie may hold the key to humanity's survival. As they travel through dangerous territory filled with infected creatures and hostile survivors, both are shaped by loss, violence, and difficult moral decisions. Their bond deepens as hope and brutality collide, turning their journey into a painful but tender exploration of love, sacrifice, and protection. The story ultimately questions whether rebuilding the future is worth the cost borne by those who remain. Peacemaker, 2022-25.
Chris, take something bad and make something good out of it.
After surviving the events of the Suicide Squad, the loud and reckless vigilante Chris Smith, known as Peacemaker, returns home convinced that achieving peace is his ultimate purpose, no matter the cost. He is soon recruited into Project Butterfly, a covert operation aimed at eliminating alien parasites threatening humanity. Between violent confrontations, uneasy friendships, and a complicated relationship with his father, Peacemaker is forced to face his violent history and fragile sense of identity. Through crude humor, chaotic missions, and unexpected loyalty, he gradually learns that real heroism is not about killing for peace, but about redemption and finding belonging. The White Lotus, 2021.
At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
At an upscale resort, wealthy guests arrive expecting relaxation and escape, while the staff quietly endure their own struggles beneath the surface. What begins as a luxurious vacation gradually unravels into uncomfortable conflicts, hidden desires, and growing tension. The hotel manager, Armin, battles his own personal demons as guests, families, couples, and strangers interact in increasingly volatile ways. Behind the beauty of sunsets and cocktails, secrets emerge that expose privilege, grief, and the fragile facades of happiness. The White Lotus is a sharp, dark comedy about human flaws set against a backdrop of tropical luxury. The PITT, 2025.
And so it begins.
At a busy trauma center in Pittsburgh, doctors and nurses work under constant pressure as emergencies arrive without pause. Dr. Robbie Robinovich mentors new trainees while experienced staff balance exhaustion, grief, workplace tension, and life-or-death decisions. Amid critical procedures and rare quiet moments, relationships form and strain under the weight of responsibility. Families wait anxiously in hospital corridors as medical professionals carry both emotional and physical burdens. Each shift tests their skill, endurance, and humanity, revealing both the cost of survival and the fragile hope that keeps them returning to the pit every day. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel to see future videos about suggested movies and television shows.